Alan, I don't know what's going on. We consistently do well. We haven't changed a thing. Maybe that's the problem. I came across a concept a few years ago called the normalization of deviance. All right, just hang with me. Let me explain that because I think it's a pretty important thing. Normalization of deviance says that it's a process where risky or substandard practices become normal without an immediate consequence. Bear with me for the little story. NASA, when the Challenger blew up, the engineers knew that there was a problem with the O-rings in the solid rocket booster. But they had had issues before with no major catastrophe. They just dealt with the little issues that it came with. And those O-rings would let hot gas leak through. It was okay until it wasn't. And then a catastrophe happened that impacted the whole program at NASA and the lives of many, many people. So the normalization of deviance, how does that relate to you? I read an article not too long ago by Dr. Brian Fairchild at the University of Georgia. The title was, "Better Feed Conversion is All in the Details." Well, here's the thing. In this concept of normalization of deviance, the first thing that goes are the details. Just because your farm hasn't broken with dermatitis, you maybe don't walk your birds as often. My water has been great. Haven't tested it in about 5 years. pH was good 5 years ago and seems to be doing okay now. Water consumption, well, it's not quite what it was last flock. What was it a year ago? Has it slowly declined and you just have accepted the fact that a little less each flock? Next thing you know, if you look at the charts of where your water consumption should be, you're way off. What about your water pressure? Well, my water pressure seems to be good. I don't test it because they seem to have plenty of water. But have you tested it? Maybe your water pressure was great. You tested it and tested it and tested it. And then when's the last time you looked in your regulator coming in from the main source of your water? Have you checked that screen? All of a sudden, man, that thing could affect the pressure. Your generator, man, I got a nice generator. In fact, last year, I didn't even check it. We completely forgot. But we had an emergency, that thing fired right up. So yeah, man, it's not something I need to check. Really? I also have been buying the best belts for my motors and fans, and those things are guaranteed for 10 years. Guaranteed longer than the other belts, than your average belt. So I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm not going to take the time to test those. It's okay until it's not. Now, I could go through a series of these, and actually, if you just look back at our 290 something videos on this channel, you could probably make your own checklist, because we talk about everything, all these things I just mentioned and 100 other things that you probably need to stay on top of. A lot of YouTube channels are pretty much geared for one thing. They want clicks. In fact, I don't even know if you know what this means, clickbait. But it's what kind of topic can you do to, get them to click and get them to sign in and get them to do all these things. And whereas we like that because the more views we get, which I never promote, hey, smash that like button, subscribe, and get the notification. But it does help it promote it out there so other growers are able to be aware, and this can help them too. But a lot of channels, that's what they're doing, just try to get you to click. And I don't know that this kind of topic is something that's going to get a lot of views. In fact, we did, a couple years ago, I did one called troubleshooting. And it was just something that I was passionate about because I do it in my own life, to just sit back and look at the very basic things. Sometimes the most simplest solution is right in front of you, but you don't take time to look at it. So we did that troubleshooting video. Man, it's got like 7,000 views, which is pretty big for this channel. It's just crazy. So this, I don't know how much this is going to get, but if it can help someone by just reminding you that, hey, just because you've gotten by with it doesn't mean that catastrophe is not going to happen. Because like I started this whole introduction with, is I talk to growers all the time, and this is a pretty common conversation I have. Starts out with, man, we are usually right there, at least in the middle, if not on the top. I don't know what's happened. You know, we're good growers, but we do the same thing, and now all of a sudden something's happened. Not going to say that it's always for this reason, but a lot of times you hear growers and they'll go, well, you know, I just don't do that. Yeah, you know, I used to do that, but I just don't do it anymore. So this video is basically an encouragement to, hey, stay on the things that you know to do, because just because it hasn't bitten you yet doesn't mean it's not going to. Staying on top of these things. This is your business. You don't do it necessarily because it's the funnest thing in the world to do. You do it because it makes money and provides a lifestyle that you enjoy. So don't forget to stay on top of these things that can sometimes get by the wayside. Better feed conversion, as Dr. Fairchild says, is in the details. And those details are the first thing that go when you start normalizing this little variation that hadn't bitten you yet. So, hope that's a help. Hope it will encourage you. Hopefully maybe get you doing something that you hadn't done in a while. If there's anything else we can do to help you, you got any questions, give me a call, 1-800-608-3755, or email me, alan@southlandorganics.com. Until next time.